You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Hello again, all you wonderful people out there. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Hi.
Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hi, guys.
All right, gang. Well, we've got plenty to talk about this episode. Looks like some stuff going on, some people talking, a lot of people talking. What are they talking about? We're going to find out.
But but before we get crazy,
Talking about people.
we have somebody that we know that goes to a high school that we all graduated from.
Oh, yes.
So,
Oh, yes.
do tell.
Our one and only Kia.
Kia.
Excuse me. Kia.
Come on, guys.
God. Our one and only
The
Kia.
D is silent.
One and only Kia.
Kay, if you're listening, just get him. Get after him.
Yeah. Get mad.
Willie
Get
does
even.
not take kind to comments coming back at him. The silent D and G really got him. So come get him. Get after him.
I
in
make
the
it a
comments down
point
below.
to try to pronounce everybody's name correctly. When I don't, it breaks me up inside. And the fact that you, Kyle, are the one that called me out on it, the one who's like, yeah, Ottawa Bogna. Kaya put
Kaya.
in her yearbook. Everybody gets, a yearbook when you're a senior. You get to put a little
a quote.
quote in your yearbook
What'd you
to
say,
remember
Alex?
for years, forever. It's
Forever.
there. You can't change it. It's not going
You're gonna
nowhere.
show your kids.
You're
Yeah.
going to show this to your kids, and they're going to say, why did you say this? And you have to cop to it. You got to say why. Kaya put in her yearbook, K love you, bye.
I was in.
I was in.
K love you.
K
bye.
love you, bye.
Yes.
And
So-
to say
so
we're
good.
honored is an
Understatement
understatement.
of the century. Yeah.
Big time.
Huge. That
This lives on
That was
much
so
longer than this
wild.
podcast will.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
For
be
sure.
forever there in her yearbook. And you're gonna have to explain it, Kaya.
I'm gonna have
Don't
to make
forget
a
us.
K Love You Bye shirt and get one to Kaya. I think that needs to happen. I think she's
Perfect.
definitely earned that. So
Yes.
we'll get on that for you, Kaya.
We will spend more money that we are not making for you,
Yeah.
Kaya.
Yeah.
Because we love you. Dadgummit. That
We
really
appreciate
was
you.
pretty wild. That is
Yeah,
so cool
so
that you
cool.
did that. Thank you. You didn't have to do that by any stretch, but you did, and we appreciate it.
It is very
Uh,
fitting, though. Like, all right, K love you. Bye. Rancho Bernardo High School.
Yeah.
Bye.
K love you bye. Hashtag K love you bye.
Love you, bye.
All right. Well, hey, tell me this. Did you know Chargers are the only NFL team to not have a player arrested in the last 5 years?
Good for us.
5 years.
Celebrate!
Good for
That-
us.
I mean,
Tommy
that is
Ten-
kinda
Tommy T's
crazy.
tenure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Considering all the other teams, all the other players, and I mean, this is including like any arrest whatsoever. Whether it's DUI, whether it's domestic dispute or anything like that. Like the Chargers just jaywalking.
All of it.
Not all of it. It does not happen at the Chargers. At least in the last 5 years, it hasn't happened. So
Look at us.
look at us. Hey,
Put
we're doing
Being
it.
little
model
tip of the cap
citizens.
to all you model
Yeah.
citizen Chargers.
That's right. So pretty cool. Yeah. Tommy T obviously focuses on hiring class acts, but it's paying off. It's showing. SiriusXM NFL Radio tweeted out that perfectionist, competitive fire inside of them. Chargers center Corey Linsley on the similarities between Justin Herbert and former teammate Aaron Rodgers. Hashtag bolt up. So both Aaron and Justin, perfectionists with competitive fire inside of them. I mean, as
Love
we
it.
heard it on that last episode, Justin is competitive. He wants to make others cry and question their reasoning for playing any sport.
He wants to embarrass
Yeah.
people, and clearly
to
Aaron
embarrass the
Rodgers
hell out of
likes
him.
to. He's good at embarrassing not
Yeah.
only himself, but he probably does it to other people too.
Yeah. He said he just has that inside of him where he's just like, I want to be the best. I want to be the best that I can be. I want my team to be the best, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. He watches more film than I've ever seen. He's in the weight room doing weighted pull-ups, just getting after it, man. I mean, it's 24/7, and that type of mindset speaks to the type of player he's going to be.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
There's a reason why he looks so jacked. Weighted pull-ups, like that's insane.
Yeah,
that's like D lineman shit.
Non-weighted pull-ups are insane.
Yeah.
How many could you do?
1.5.
Give me a kip. I could toss a couple. But...
Yeah, give me one if I can have a running start.
Need a trampoline, I'll give you 5.
Yeah, if we're at that, what is it? The Sky Zone? What is that?
Yeah, Sky Zone pull-ups.
Yeah,
done.
I can go for days. And then Jim Nantz on the Rich Eisen show was talking about Justin. He said, I think Justin Herbert's the most under-discussed superstar in waiting that there is in the league. I think watching him play is breathtaking. I think he might have more talent than anybody. So the AFC battles are going to be fun.
Breathtaking. What is where did that come from? Right? You're just going to
take my breath away.
Yeah. I think it's watching like that big toss that he had against the New York Giants.
You're like,
watch it and you, it's a take a breath away moment. Just big deep passes.
Little House on the Prairie.
Oh my!
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
That arm is a cannon. Oh my goodness, Mr. Herbert.
Here comes a calling.
Oh, Pa. I do love me some Justin Herbert.
He's a
man.
suitor.
I agree, Jim Nantz. He's breathtaking.
Yes.
He's a breathtaking man.
Yes. And then Peter.
Okay, under-discussed. Do you guys think he's under-discussed?
Yes.
We all talk about Keenan Allen being
if
kind
you
of
listen to our
underrated.
podcast, we talk to him all the time.
Breathlessly.
Every I lose my breath every episode talking about him. But I don't think in the circle of the league, all people are saying is like no playoffs. No playoffs. They're not giving him any credit because he hasn't won a playoff game yet.
Because it was all on him.
Sure, but like there's no perspective on it yet. And people just being pissed that he is who he is and what he could be is so much better than whoever the other team's quarterback is.
Right. So in that regard, yes, he is under discussed. I think whenever people talk about top 5 quarterbacks and he doesn't make the list, I think that's an insult to him as a player and what he's accomplished so far.
100%.
Peter King recently released his NFL rankings leading into the season. Buffalo, he has as number 1, 12-7, with a lost in the divisional round to Kansas City last year. Number 2, LA Chargers.
Look at us.
He said, the Chargers, I thought, needed to do significant surgery coming off a playoff-less season, and general manager Tom Telesco did. I thought he won this offseason. He needed to, particularly on defense. Only the Jets and Lions gave up more points than LA's 27 per game last year. Trading for Khalil Mack, though a bit of a health gamble, gives LA as good as a 1-2 pass rush tandem with Joey Bosa as any team in football. He'll give people someone to account for opposite Joey. And number 3, he had as Kansas City.
Yeah, and number 4, defending Super Bowl champion LA
Rams. Yeah.
There's a lot of smoke right now around the Chargers. We're getting some. I mean, people are recognizing. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but they are expected to do a lot this year.
We're a paper team right now. We look beautiful on paper. We got to become a product team. Got to go from paper to product. We got to do everything this roster says we should be able to do. And if we can live up to that expectation, if coach can coach his ass off and make all the right decisions and we can stay healthy, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue with Peter King.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're making all the right moves, and I can't believe 27 points. That's unreal.
That's a lot.
I mean, I knew that we gave up points, obviously, like defense was a problem last year, but 27, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That is a lot. So yeah, to see us making those right moves. And, when he talked about Kansas City being below us, he said it'll be up to Mahomes to win some games with this golden arm to prove this is not a gap year. I think he can do it even in the toughest division in football, even if the Chargers for 1 year pass them in the standings. So putting the Chargers ahead, but Kansas City still making the playoff. it's not fair how tough this division is. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Sucks that when we're finally hitting our stride and make all these big moves, we now have the toughest division of football.
Right. But
Sick.
I think it'll just make the wins that much sweeter. Yes.
Right.
And there's gonna be a lot of fun football to watch. It's gonna be really, really exciting.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be competitive. We're gonna see Justin Herbert at his best. And if you want to see us at our best, you should go on over to chargerchat.com.
Sweet.
Check out some of the sweet stuff we've got over there, like t-shirts, hoodies, stickers. And we've got a member section where you can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers and ask questions and ask ball fam. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right. Well, unfortunately, we got to let Kyle say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Kyle. That's what happens, folks. When you volunteer to do a podcast, you kind of just have to squeeze it in when you can. And right now, we squeezed as much out of Kyle's time as we possibly could.
I've been freshly
he is squeezed dry. He is out. We've rolled up the toothpaste. He is done.
Add some champagne, little mimosa. Squeeze the coach. Let's have a little orange juice and champagne.
You're just delaying the inevitable that happens.
You know another thing about Kyle I'd like to say? Bye, Kyle. All right. Well, even though Kyle had to bail, we've still got another segment to go to. It is the one, the only, the Craig Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Craig Experience.
hello there.
Make yourself at home. We got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
And it's true. You can't stop it. It looks like, on paper, this squad is going to be virtually unstoppable on both sides of the ball. But with that said, there are some questions that remain to be answered. And that's why your boy's here. CC Gang. The biggest of salutes into the rest of the Boat fam. What is goody? She got Craig in Texas. And welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. Hey, I'm right there with you folks. Probably even more guilty. But it's okay because the level of excitement is so high surrounding this offseason that it makes perfect sense. So you shouldn't feel bad about it at all. It's definitely, understandable. This team made a bunch of moves this offseason that either A, no one thought would happen just based on the way things have worked historically in regards to offseason free agency signings, or there were picks that were brought in, signings, that were completely out of left field that no one even saw coming, which ultimately adds up to a relatively stacked roster. And I'm not just talking about top heavy either. There's some quality depth. This is everything that Brandon Staley said he wanted. So it's just so happened to work out. Now, all of that said, there are a couple of glaring needs, you could say. And that's what I want to chop up today. Like, what's the elephant in the room? There are a couple, in my opinion. Let's start off at the inside linebacker position, specifically off-ball linebacker. And that road was kind of paved wide open for the Kenneth Murray project to go into full force with the, walking papers handed to Kaiser White. Y'all know how I feel about that, so I won't get into it. But K9's coming off of another surgery. Hopefully he heals up well. And, he and Drew Tranquil can be a dynamic tandem in the middle. At very worst, if they're average, it's fine. They don't have to be an elite group. I do think, and I've mentioned this before, that Kyle Van Noy signing is more clutch than anyone really realizes at this point because the dude can be both edge and off-ball inside linebacker. You could argue, just based off history, that he's already the best off-ball inside linebacker on the team. Again, history would say so, but it also is just my personal opinion, so that's what I'm rocking with. We'll see how that goes. But moving on to the big boy, literally and figuratively, right tackle. It's probably Trey Pipkins' job to lose going into camp. Seriously doubt Storm Norton is in consideration as option 1A or B, but who knows? And we're not going to peg this all on the Raiders' performance. He had spotty play throughout the season, but I'm also not one of those people that believes that the Chargers have to have an elite right tackle. If you've got 4 out of 5 of those spots locked up, then there are ways that you can get around having like average to below average play at right tackle. I mean, I would settle for average. I mean, seriously, just give me more than a warm body and we can make that happen. But there are a couple names to keep an eye on. Zack Bailey, the guy that they picked up recently from Washington, he's listed on the team website as a tackle, which is interesting because I know he played guard and tackle, but they have him as designated for the tackle position currently, which could change. I mean, it's super early. You got Brendan Hymas, who, ironically enough, is listed as a guard / tackle. He played tackle at Nebraska. The talk has been about him being a guard primarily, but he could maybe get some action in camp at tackle too. Jamari Sawyer is currently listed just as an O-lineman. Interesting. And here's a name that probably no one's gonna recognize when I say it, and is more than likely gonna force you to go look it up. Foster Cerro. This is a guy that they picked up who went to Stanford, and I believe they signed him in October of last year. I won't spend a whole bunch of time giving you the backstory on the dude, but go check him out. He's got a very, very interesting story. Very, very interesting. And I'm curious to see what happens with him. Now, he could end up just being a camp body and nothing more, but maybe not. And finally, the wide receiver position. Now, this is the one where like plenty of people are going to roll their eyes at me. Cool. Again, but some of you get where I'm coming from because we've had this chat. Chargers still don't have like that creator at wide receiver. A dude who can take something short, bust it for 50 plus. Someone that's explosive in short areas. They just still don't have it. We're not talking about straight line speed guys there because that's Jalen Guyton. I mean, apparently the team has a plan for him. Hopefully he's developed some more and we get a bigger year out of him. Cool. DeAndre Carter's there primarily as a special teams guy. He's got a little wiggle, but he's not super duper explosive from a long speed perspective. But when you think about like Isaiah Spiller being drafted and being able to take some of the load off of Eckler, there's probably a good chance that Eckler's going to be playing more out wide. So you've got more of a run after catch dude. And, Eckler's not the fastest dude in the world, but he's got, decent explosion. So look, at the end of the day, there are ways to manufacture yards. When you've got a bunch of weapons to select from, you can get the ball moving downfield. And it's not always about one big play or huge chunk plays every time you throw the ball. You can matriculate the ball down. And as long as you're ending up with 6 more than you are 3, I'm good with that. So we'll see what the Chargers' plan is from there. You got Gerald Everett, of course, Slay and Mike Will. And I'm not giving up on Joe Reed as our Deebo Samuel. It's not going to happen yet. For some reason, the Chargers just feel like they have to keep me holding on. They won't let the dude go. They're keeping him for a reason. So I'm holding out faith. And yes, you will get a new Joe Reed poem from me if he indeed makes the team. Hold me to that. But outside of that, it's really all I got for you today. Just a couple things to possibly pique your interest. Some names that you might want to go do some more research on. And maybe there was a nugget about a person dropped in there that you forgot was around and might end up being somebody. Who knows? But y'all know what it is. Until the next time, it's Mr. Boat Gang or Do Not Bang. Mr. TOP_FLYT3 over on Twitter. And yeah, still, on my YouTube page, the flight deck, Charge It to the Game. There is a video coming within a week. I promise you. But anyways, y'all know what it is. Till next time, be good. Catch y'all later. Okay. Love you. Bye.
A new Charge It to the Game, Craig. I'll see it when I believe it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm just kidding. Thank you, Craig, for
it's awesome.
reminding us about some of these deep players that we have at some of these positions and how some of these signings have really impacted what we can look forward to this upcoming season. Kyle Van Noy, first of all, obviously is a huge signing. I think
surprise signing that we actually landed him. That was so weird to me. That doesn't usually go to us.
Right. That was just kind of like, boy, wouldn't it be great? But it'll never happen. No. You know. And yeah, the right tackle, I think it was interesting. I think I saw earlier that Brandon Staley made mention that it's Pipkins and Norton kind of fighting for that spot, but he's not opposed to putting Filer out there in situations. So I think we've gathered quite a few guards in this offseason as far as Zion Johnson, Jamari, and that other guy, Zack Bailey, that he was talking about. And I feel like there's even one more guard that got picked up that I'm forgetting. So I think I'm not stressed about it. Like Craig said, you know, as long as it's somebody that's average, you know, that can be serviceable at the job, that's all that matters. And I think Pipkins has had long enough to get to that mode. You know, like he might just be a late bloomer. It might have taken him 3 years to finally get into that peak position, you know.
Real late bloomer.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, like they picked him up early in the third round as like a diamond in the rough kind of pick. Maybe now the diamond's been polished and it's ready to shine. I don't know.
I will believe it when I see that one for sure.
Sure.
I'm pulling
I feel
for him.
you.
I hope it works out. But there is a lot of flexibility with this roster, especially on the offensive line.
Yes.
There's a lot of guys that we've added that are kind of like, wait, what? We added them? Oh, yeah, we did.
Right.
There's just, it seems like odd, like we're scooping up so many of these guys. We're going to have incredible depth. Is there enough room for all these guys on the roster? To be determined.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how they shake out, you know, because it's so obvious what we need help with, the right tackle.
Right.
So, you know, and like Craig was saying, if you have an elite, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive linemen and that fifth guy can be serviceable, then, you know, maybe that's the thing. I still think it's Storm Norton's job to lose. He was the starter all last year for a reason. Us as fans, we need to go into it kind of building off what happened last year, and that's who they put out there to start.
Right.
So until you know, we see something insane, I think Storm Norton's our right tackle, unless there's a big shakeup or Trey Pipkins shows up during this offseason.
Right. Yeah. We're still way early into all of what we can expect to see in the upcoming season as far as who makes the cut, who doesn't. So I think it'll be, you'll want to kind of keep an eye on Twitter as far as like, if any names start getting mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, this guy was doing really good, or, you know, or if you're following Dan Popper, I highly recommend following Dan Popper because he will also make mention of like who's getting more reps over somebody else.
Yeah.
Or who appears to him as being the better performer at OTAs and minicamp and all that kind of stuff. So follow those guys and keep an eye, because it really is, there's no solid right tackle. It really could be anybody. So it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see the coaches figure out who that ends up being. Or, I mean, I'll ask you this. Is it possible that it's like a double-headed situation where it's like, you know, one person gets half the snaps, the other person gets another half kind of situation?
Offensive line, at least that's what I played in high school, is all about consistency and knowing who you're playing with. Because you know, having somebody's back and knowing when they might be struggling, you need to pick something up. Your head's always on a swivel trying to help out the guy next to you. So I flexing people in and out, I don't think is realistic. I think they need to find somebody and go with them. So that way they can get rhythm and find themselves as, you know, part of that offensive line. And then we'll see what happens.
Then go with it.
But that's why I'm also hesitant to be like, Pipkins is the guy right now, because we haven't seen any chemistry with that
Right,
yet. He had
right.
one game because Storm Norton was he sick or hurt? I can't remember. But it was the Raider game. Something happened, and that was why he played. It wasn't because Storm Norton got benched. It was just a practicality thing.
Right.
So we'll see. That's the one thing I'm really looking at. I'm excited. The defense can do pretty much anything. I'm excited to see what that's going to be.
Mhm.
The offensive line, because we love Herbert so much, we want to make sure he's safe.
Right.
Is something we should probably keep an eye on.
Yeah. They'll definitely be investing time into that. And then with the wide receiver thing, like I feel, I get what Craig is saying as far as like getting those guys those yak guys that catch and get an extra 10 to 20 yards. But it wasn't necessary for Herbert to be as productive as he was last year. Like, could it make him more productive? Sure, obviously. But it's not a requirement to the play style that he has or the play style that the coaching staff has been implementing. So I'm not as worried about that.
And we all know he just wants to embarrass people. It doesn't sound like he cares how he embarrasses people. He just wants to embarrass some people.
Right. Hey, I think he might have hit it because it is, I'm going to beat you with my return specialist. I'm going to throw it to DeAndre Carter. He's going to get some extra yards and he's going to get a touchdown. And what are you going to do about it?
And I'm going to beat you by handing this ball off to Dawson Eckler or whoever's behind him.
Right.
And they're going to beat you. So we just got to, if this team can find lots of different ways to beat people up, then we're just going to be that much better. You don't have to fully rely on Justin to do absolutely everything.
Right.
And I think that's key to us being an unstoppable offense.
Big time. So something to look forward to, folks. We are still over 100 days away. We're getting close. I know.
So far, yet so close.
We're getting closer every day. But keep an eye. Like I said, follow Dan Popper, and I think you'll get a lot more information into the inside of what's going on with minicamp and OTAs. And we'll be following just along with you. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Charger Chat. Any final thoughts there, Kev?
I am about to go on vacation, so I might not be with the boys next week, but I will. We did do some interviews and stuff, so I will pop up. So I want to wish you a happy next week, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
K love you, bye.
K love you, bye.
No, K love you, bye.
K love you, bye.
K love you, bye.
K love you, bye.
That was so stupid.